Sam, what has kept you in Providence all these years? Is there anywhere else in the U.S. that you would consider setting up as your home base?
Providence is just pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty all right. It's okay.
That's all you can ask for.
That's all you can ask for. But it's just the case that the business started to sort of develop here, and the people who are here that are integral to the business, they're kind of entrenched in the Rhode Island area. I mean, we've talked about if we ever had crazy goo banunu money, we would go on like a road trip or something and see what other people think about other parts of the country. But it's kind of a good spot in my opinion. I mean, I've been around most of the United States, and I've seen most of what there is on offer. And the main thing is that I would like some degree of agitation. I feel like if you go into the woods, or if you're surrounded by an idyllic countryside, I mean, we've been up to New Hampshire, and there's New Hampshire, they might even have more lawn signs in New Hampshire that say, "In this house we believe science is science." Like, I get the you want to go be surrounded by white people, but white people have a learning disability, and it's like if I was in New Hampshire and I bought a farm in the middle of the woods, and I was ready to cut my own firewood, and I was driving around, I had made the decision to remove myself from society, and I saw like someone with a Planned Parenthood bumper sticker, I would someone. Yeah. If I had a gun in my truck, if I was driving around, like I almost got in a fucking fight out there today. Not today. Two days ago, when I told Laker or someone to come outside and start filming, it was because there's this little fucking, it doesn't matter. But if I lived in New Hampshire and I saw people driving around with "that was all love is love," I'd somebody. So the thing about Rhode Island is that there's this, the stimulus is the information. The being surrounded, like living in a shitty ghetto, it's not the worst place in the world. It's not like Harlem. It's not, you're not gonna get killed. But there's like fucking, like some guy totaled his Suburban on Oxycontins in my driveway. Yeah. So it's like I look outside and I see, oh, what are they up to today? What are these fucking pieces of shit up to today? What are the regular pieces like? And when I see a school bus full of these kids, I think, oh boy, there's the rocket scientist transport making me late. Here we go again. Here's the future brain surgeons and rocket scientists of America making me late to work. That's the type of thing. But that's if you want to be a comedian, I think if you want to be a comedian, the best thing you could do is probably work at a call center. And the worst thing you could do is go live in the woods and chop firewood and be nature man, because you're going to lose touch with actuality fast, and you're going to get comfortable. And I'd like to be comfortable someday, but right now I need to be living on the edge of my fear, as David Data says.
The classic text on like whether or not location matters is Thoreau's Walden, right? And so Thoreau, he moves to his cabin on the lake, is away from the city. Now, people really criticize Thoreau now because they realize that actually he was like 2 miles away from the town, and his mum used to bring him food, blah, 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 right? And I think this is a dreadful criticism, because I actually think that Thoreau's life was the perfect middle, because he realized you can't do the Ted Kaczynski thing and go off in some shed and shut down all the shutters and be like, the modern world doesn't exist, like I don't want to know about it. And then what happens? Planes flew over Ted Kaczynski's shed and he went mad. Like, and that was one of the reasons he cited for him doing the bombings, was because he basically had shut out the modern world so completely that he pretended it didn't exist. And then when these dirt bikes came past and the planes flew overhead, he just couldn't deal with it. And I think that's why Thoreau is actually, you shouldn't criticize Thoreau, is because he didn't do it to be like, the modern world sucks, it doesn't exist, I don't want to know about it. He is like, I'm going to try find some way to exist in like a coherence with the modern world. Like, you can't just deny it. And I think he did that really well. And the whole thing of like people criticizing because his mum brought him food, it's like, well, yeah, it's his mum. You know, it's probably just quite a nice thing for them to do.